And welcome back to our coronavirus town hall as we continue to get your questions answered.
Right now, we want to welcome to the conversation Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett, Fishers Mayor Scott Fadness, and the Mayor of Evansville, Lloyd Winnecke.
We are also joined by South Bend Mayor James Mueller, Mayor Duke Bennett of Terre Haute, and Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry. Our thanks to all of the mayors for joining us tonight on Zoom. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. We want to get started with kind of a lightning round here tonight. Show of hands only here. We asked the others about this earlier. How many of you think that masks should be required for customers and employees in your local businesses right now? Mayor Mueller says he thinks they should.
All right, to our next question. How many of you are comfortable that businesses in your city have access to enough PPE to operate safely?
Wow,
Okay,
resounding right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, one more question. How many of you are worried that this pandemic will cause lingering budget issues for your city long term?
Everybody raises two hands.
All
In
hands
fact,
go up, yeah.
Two mayors raising
because he raised two hands. Let's take a deeper dive right now into those issues with Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Now, Mayor Hogsett, we have a question from District Tap owner Michael Cranville, who says carryout sales actually decreased when surrounding counties opened for dining ahead of Indianapolis. Listen to his question real quick.
Are there going to be any county-specific economic programs to help out restaurants and retailers who have been affected by our delay in opening?
So, Mayor Hogsett, you have faced the criticism for waiting longer to reopen. What are you doing to help businesses that suffered because of that delay? And how do you balance that cost in human lives versus the cost to people's livelihoods?
Yeah, well, thank you, Dan. The city of Indianapolis has really engaged in a very robust effort to help small businesses. Beyond that, which you've already talked about at length tonight, the PPP program from Washington, we partnered with the Indy Chamber right off the bat to create an initial rapid response loan fund for Indianapolis businesses. In addition to that, we have provided PPE support, and we'll be continuing to provide PPE support for local businesses to get back up and running. But the truth is that I'm very pleased with the success that we've enjoyed in our rapid response loan fund, particularly for those businesses who are particularly economically disadvantaged, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses. We have to date loaned out $2.31 million in funds, and we have another 193 potential loans in the pipeline. So there's still a lot of work to do, and I know people are hurting, but Indianapolis is stepping up in what I consider to be a fiscally responsible but aggressive way.
All right, our next question here is for Mayor Tom Henry in Fort Wayne, the second largest city in the state of Indiana, and you seem to have had proportionally fewer cases and deaths than other parts of the state. Why do you think that is?
I think we were very fortunate in having a very progressive Board of Health who I think it really exhibited a lot of vision when they began to see what was happening elsewhere outside of the state of Indiana. They knew that it was moving west. They knew it was coming our way from the coast. And they immediately began to put together a number of task forces to address those areas that they knew were going to be affected by anything that had any type of pandemic title to it. So our director of the Board of Health, Dr. McMahon, she and a number of other physicians and social service agencies and the like got together and began to put these programs together. So as it began to come into Fort Wayne, Allen County, we were able to kind of get our head around it and try to challenge some of the areas that we knew were going to come our way. So I think it was primarily because we were ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Okay, Mayor Henry, thank you for that. I want to bring in Mayor Scott Fadness from Fishers. Mayor, Fishers has attracted several big businesses in the past few years, like Topgolf, IKEA, as well as multiple tech companies. Topgolf making news earlier this week when it was ordered to close after reopening for just one day. Does this illustrate some of the confusion that businesses in your city may encounter as they try to reopen but still adhere to the guidelines? And then another question, what are you telling those companies that chose to invest in your city because of the tech opportunities, but now they're feeling that frustration?
Yeah, I think it's the law of unintended consequences when you try to pass these rules and regulations that apply to every single particular circumstance. It can get very confusing. And Topgolf case, I think, well documented. And there was a situation where golf courses are open across the state of Indiana, restaurants are open at 50% capacity. Topgolf looked at that and said, well, that seems reasonable, we'll open, and to find out from state excise and others that they were deemed under the definition of the executive order an entertainment venue, which is not yet allowed to be open. So yeah, there's going to be situations like this that are just downright confusing. I think what we're trying to do for our businesses is we're trying to consume all of that information as well, and trying to go out to the businesses as proactively as we can, educate them in every way that we know how, and try to be their advocate and also be their support mechanism as they try to figure out how to function in this new normal.
You know, Fishers now is kind of a tech hub, so I wanted to just ask you quickly about those companies that chose to invest. Is there anything specific you're doing to help those tech companies that are now struggling, a lot of them very new, very quickly?
Well, the good news about tech is it's fairly mobile, so a lot of those folks are able to work from home. But I'll tell you, I think one of the key components of this is being able to do testing. I think public health infrastructure has got to be there as we open back up. You know, we're excited to say that we've tested over 2% of our population now that can get it for free testing, and we're working with business as well to set up testing. I think long-term public health infrastructure integrated into our cities is going to be vital for the foreseeable future.
Our next question is for South Bend Mayor James Mueller. Now, Mayor, you took office as the crisis was brewing in China. What are some of the unique challenges you faced navigating this pandemic in your first year as mayor?
Well, that's right. I didn't expect a global pandemic to hit in my first 100 days in office. But fortunately, I had worked in the previous administration under Mayor Pete, so there was a fair amount of continuity in senior leadership at the city, which helped tremendously. Without that, I would probably still be trying to figure out where the light switches were. But just to briefly go back to the comment about the Indianapolis mayor's continuing the strategy that we all agreed upon about a month ago before we changed the strategy across the rest of the state. This is a false choice between staying closed and containing the virus and getting our economy going. I don't have the same luxury that my friend down in Indianapolis has with Unigov, where he was able to continue this strategy. So we're opening up with the rest of the state. But as being open, our restaurants are seeing 10% of the sales they would see in normal times. So now they're having to open, pay staff, figure out all of that with only 10% of the volume of sales. So the original strategy, I think, was sound, and I'm glad to see Mayor Hogsett following through on that, is we need to contain the virus, give confidence to consumers so that they can come out and actually get this economy going again.
Okay.
We can our government can set artificial opening and closings. You saw in places that didn't close, consumers chose themselves to close. And similarly, you can see where places open, but consumers themselves are choosing, it's not safe yet, I'm not going out. So the primary thing is to get control of this virus, have the testing infrastructure so we can have that confidence in going forward.
And it may be different even region to region. Let's turn now to Evansville. Mayor Winnecke, a lot of people who live in your city often drive into Kentucky and vice versa. How are you handling the differences in restrictions between the two states? In about a minute or so, do you wish Governor Holcomb and Governor Beshear had a more similar approach to reopening the economy, or do you find that there have been similarities in their policy and their approach?
Yeah, actually, there haven't been that many differences. We've been able to work very cooperatively with our associates across the river in Henderson. In fact, the Henderson Chamber and the County Judge Executive and the Henderson Mayor have met with us virtually, and we have joint marketing materials available to our businesses about how we're both ready for business again. So we've worked across the river and in a most cooperative way, because that's a huge part of our region. We attract almost 4,000 Henderson residents a day into our county, into our city as employees. So it's imperative that we work together.
Sure. And Mayor Bennett, Terre Haute, obviously very close to the Illinois state line. How are you handling the difference in restrictions between those two states?
Well, everybody's coming to Terre Haute to do business, basically. There's a lot of Illinois plates in our community. Somewhat expected. We see that during the normal times, but right now almost everything is shut down in Illinois, and so they're coming here to shop and to eat now that the restaurants are open. You know, one of the biggest impacts we've seen is with our higher education, with Indiana State, Rose-Hulman, and St. Mary of the Woods. With those students being gone, it really put a cramp on us from that economic perspective. That, I mean, you would have never thought this would have played out like it was. And so not only the local folks, you know, not able to go out and do the things they wanted to do, this is being opened with all the students gone. About 20,000 students that we normally have here in our community are not here. And so we've just seen some interesting times, I would say. We're all facing the same kind of challenges. And I think as we begin to open up, I've seen more traffic and more businesses stepping up. It's just been kind of a slow and methodical process.
Well, like the governor's been saying, we are in this together. We are navigating this as a community, as a state. Up next, we are tackling some more of the local issues that matter to you and your family. What are cities doing to add to the stockpile of protective equipment?
And how are they helping minority and women-owned businesses? We're getting your questions answered. That's next.